What's going on, world? I'm Nick Ross, and this is Fish Tank Sessions. Fish Tank Sessions. We're back. We're here in the studio, in the tank, and with me, I have DFW Rave fam. And if you don't know these people, it's a combination. You've got Zane, you've got D, you've got Kyler, you've got Heather, and you've got Brian. And these guys are not only just great collaborators, they're also dear friends of mine. So without further ado, I wanted to go ahead and bring out Zane just to kind of talk a little bit about what he's doing with DFW Rave fam. So why don't you just go ahead and just start taking it over, my friend?
All right, so it pretty much started just with us wanting to throw parties and collect everybody, just show that there's good vibes out there and place to party safely. At first, it started out as a private group, and we realized that we were actually making an impact on people. Just recently decided to open up a public group so we can collect all the people that have been to our parties that are our close local friends that we connect with all the time. And it's just been exploding. You know, everybody's clicking into the page and showing us a lot of love. You know, it's been a cool experience to see how many people connect.
You know, I've been seeing just all the content that you guys have been creating lately. You've been getting a lot of action, a lot of engagement from that too. I think before you created DFW Rave Fam, you had a group that was just called Rave Fam.
Right.
Is that right?
That was a private group that we had. That, you know, we just had people that were consistently coming to our parties and that were, you know, just tight with us, that we loved, and just a place where we could just drop all of our house parties and stuff, you know, but not have it mainstream where everybody can see our address and stuff and come to it. But then, like I said, we started throwing bigger parties and started having parties that we did want to make public, and we did want to, get some publicity out there with and get under the DFW Rave Fam name. So we went public with the DFW Rave Fam, and that's been the one that we've built the logos for and everything like that. You know, just really sticking with that one and running it as a collective between everybody here and trying to put all of our brains to it and just push out the right vibe, man. Just have a good time.
I got to give you some props on that logo too. I mean, I love how you got like the Dallas skyline in there and how it just kind of highlights the brand. I mean, it's definitely an attention grabber.
Yeah, appreciate it. We had the way that came up is so cool. Like everything about it was a challenge, and then it just happened to all play out perfect. We had a friend named Megan Snee that came over to one of our parties one night, and there was an event called Dallas Open Decks that came up, and she had drew out a logo for them, and it just happened to not get chosen. And we were deciding to get a logo built. We got one built, and we actually had some conflict with another group. It was like the exact same skyline that we had built for our logo. That it was theirs was already been used for a while. You know, theirs was established. So
there's only one skyline in Dallas, though, right?
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of different depictions of it, and it was like the exact same fucking thing. So it was like, damn. We ended up reaching out and had a couple other things, like reached out to Fiverr and ended up getting some content made from there. And I had a buddy, Peyton Pullen. He put out some content for us, but nothing was clicking. Coincidentally, a year to the date, whenever we're looking for these logos, it was a year to that date was the day of the open decks that we had threw a party actually, and Megan was at that party, and she drew out that logo that night, and it came up and was like, oh shit, it ain't being used. It was like, man, what better timing than to go ahead and grab this and run with it. So we got it and we put DFW Rave Fam in it, and it fit it's a frequency, it's a waveform, but in the Dallas skyline, and has DFW Rave Fam in the middle of it, and it just fits us, man. It's perfect.
Well, that's cool that you have friends that can, you know, get that creativity over to you and find something that kind of just fits for, you know, your group so well, opposed to having to go out and seek out, you know, a brand or a logo from a third party, which can sometimes be a bit complicated. But what was kind of the main switch? Like what triggered you where you're like, you know what, we're going to switch from Rave Fam and be DFW Rave Fam? Kind of where was that motion from?
Mainly Flow Fair. You know, we're going to be pushing Flow Fair, and we put a lot of work in on it. We wanted to have a place for people to be able to find us and recognize us. And that's how we end up developing our logo. You know, we just wanted a brand, wanted to have some sort of, iconic symbol for us.
So Flow Fair is a festival that you guys all, DFW Rave Fam, is going to be throwing this year. Is that right?
Yeah, us and a few other groups as well.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Flow Fair, when it's going to be, maybe kind of give us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what we can expect at Flow Fair. I know you don't want to go into all the deets right now, but maybe kind of give us a little bit of taste of your medicine.
Well, we're doing a Renaissance experience. It's going to be a lot going on. We have a lot of groups going out there. We should be dropping our new lineup tonight, or our local lineup tonight, or not our new one. But we do have some headliners that we can release. We've got Mash Bit, Viscous, Dope Sauce,
Champagne
Poppers, Lazy K, Gizmo.
K, Baked Up's in the house.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Baked Up artists coming through. Yeah, we got Vibe Tribes pushing with us on this real hard. You know, they're close collaborators. They're the ones that really got us interested in pushing in the direction that we are in the first place. They did a flow through summer, and we went out and helped out with some of the stages and stuff out there, and it went pretty well. You know, it was a good experience, and we had a lot of fun. Had a lot of DJs come out. It was a good learning experience. You know, we learned that it takes a lot to put these things on, but we think we have what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get out there and we're going to make this shit happen. It's going to be a good time.
What I think is really unique about everything is that you're really pulling a lot of the local talent that we've seen already just in our circle.
DFW Rave fam.
Yeah, and now you're bringing them all with you for Flow Fair. So whenever you started reaching out to the DJs that you just spoke about, what was kind of their reaction, you know, when you started telling them about Flow Fair and inviting them to come out? Kind of what was the feedback that you received from that?
The local feedback is crazy. I wish we had more stages and more time and more people to help push this, but you know, we're gonna have 2 stages and we're gonna be pushing 36 different slots for the 2 nights that's going on. You know, that's a lot to put on and make sure that everybody's just on the same page and willing to take off work, you know, and do all that in the first place. But I mean, we would love to have more people out. We just can't fit that many. You know, it's been amazing to see how much people are reaching out trying to, you know, push this vibe. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. They know that we like to party and we throw good ones, I think.
I can concur with that one, sir.
Thanks, man.
So I want to ask your admins that are sitting across the table from us, since you and D probably were the kind of the instigators and the creators of where this idea came from. So what was y'all's thoughts when they were like, hey, we're going to go ahead and put together a festival? Because obviously this collab came back in 2019. Here now we're in 2020. Flow Fair is coming up in a few months. When this all first got brought up, what was kind of y'all's reactions, y'all's thoughts? Kind of tell us about how y'all felt about everything.
I'm Kyler. I was really excited. Flow Through Summer last year was a great turnout. You know, we had a lot of fun. We didn't particularly put it together from the get-go. We played a part in helping. You know, they needed some extra assistance, so you know, we kind of all just pulled together as a family and just kind of made it happen. It had a great turnout, and after it was all said and done, we just decided to work together this year for Flow Fair. Yeah, we got a lot of people putting everything together, and we got a lot going into it.
It's got to be, I mean, definitely time consuming. I mean, organizing a festival, especially for being a first one that's going to be a public event. Do you have any type of obstacle that maybe kind of came through while you guys were kind of starting this whole setup process? You were like, holy shit, what are we going to do?
Man, everything, you know, everything's an obstacle. You know, there's nothing that's set in stone ever in this. And like Flow Through Summer was out at Tanglewood Forest, and we just didn't want to do it. We just didn't want to do it there. It was, you know, it was a cool location, cool venue and all, but we thought we could do it at a different venue, and it's going to be out in cool Texas, and we'd have more control over the land and more ability to get out there and curate it from a longer viewpoint than we would ever have feasible with, you know, some place that we'd have to rent out. Location was a pretty good challenge in my opinion.
I feel like location for any type of event is always the biggest challenge. Where is Flow Fair going to be at?
It's between Weatherford and Mineral Wells. It's in a town called Cool, so our festival will actually be in a cool place. You know, it's no matter what, it's straight up.
So cool.
It's literally in a cool place.
Tell us a little bit about the venue that people can kind of get an idea for before they kind of show up. So what's like the grounds like? What's the spacing, the size? Kind of what can people look forward to?
We're going to have a center area that's going to be more wooded and treed, and it's going to be lit up, and a designated camping area, and we will have a designated vendor booths and porta potties out there, and we'll have 2 stages. It's kind of like a big open field, essentially, that we're going to clean up, or everything's been cleaned up. We're going to have certain areas that are just, you know, specifically for the stage. It's going to be, you know, people are going to be forced into a stage area, essentially. It's going to be free roam out there, you know. It's going to be a bunch of uplighting and pretty lights and people wearing costumes, and there's going to be a whole bunch of flow artists out there, which the main thing is just, it's going to be crazy to see all the people out there just collaborating and going with the music and pushing their talents that everybody's been just practicing at the house, you know. Like that's one of the great things about these events too, is you don't get to go and just like showcase poi or your flow skills,
Right.
you know, or even play your music at just anywhere, you know. It's so give a place a great location to get loud and spin your poise as much as you want. For the DJs to curate their sound, you know, so you have to be there to check it out, man. Like, it's going to be it's hard to explain the kind of vibe we push on that.
If you're hungry, we'll have food vendors.
Yeah, we'll have food vendors. I mean, there's so much. Like, I can sit here and talk about this all day
Hold
long.
on, you can't just say you're going to have food vendors. What kind of food are you going to have at Flow Fair?
Of course, we have to have turkey legs since it's a Renaissance theme.
You better. I'll be sad if you don't.
We've got that locked down.
I'm not looking forward to seeing all the turkey legs on the floor, because you know at some point someone's going to be raging with a turkey leg, and at one point they're going to finish it, and they're going to be like, I don't want to find a trash can.
We'll have designated hounds for you to feed the turkey legs to.
Okay, well, I feel like you've got a lot of the community, the local Dallas community around you, supporting you, giving positive feedback, and I think everybody's pretty pumped for this event, because it's going to be kind of right in line with Ubby Dubby, so it's going to be something else people have to look forward to. And that's always fun, because we're always waiting for the next thing. What's the next event? And now kind of having one so close to another big event, I think it just gives people the excitement. It's like, oh man, it's Rave month. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, it's definitely DFW Festival month. We're definitely pushing to make this a yearly thing. You don't have to worry about there being a lack of festivals on our end every year around this time. Look forward to hearing from us for plenty of years to come on this.
Awesome. So I want to ask you another question, because you're also a DJ.
Yes.
What's your DJ name?
Resonated.
Are you also planning to be playing at Flow Fair?
Yes, I'll definitely be playing out at Flow Fair.
Are you going to be playing every day, or are you going to be playing?
No, I'll have one spot. I don't want to get too into details on that, but since like I said, time is limited out there. You know, everybody's got one spot, and even then, we can't get all the people that are close to us into the positions that they want. So I will be splitting up my set into multiple sections, essentially. You know, like I said, I don't want to give up too much, and incorporating as many people as I possibly can, and have some special guests out there. Have some fun. I think it'll be really cool what we got going on. Everybody's going to enjoy it for sure.
All right. Well, so we know that Flow Fair is going to be in Cool, Texas, which, I mean, that's cool. When is the exact date of Flow Fair, and where can people find more information about Flow Fair? Let's say they wanted to buy tickets, or they wanted to kind of do some more research. Where can people go?
The Flow Fair is going to be held March 27th and 28th.
It's a 2-day festival.
It's a 2-day festival, camping festival. You don't have to camp, obviously, but we definitely recommend it so you can have the full immersive experience.
Tickets are available at vibetribetx.ticketspice.com. Again, that's vibetribetx.ticketspice.com.
You can definitely find all the information through DFW Rave Fam Facebook page as well. Yeah, DFW. Anybody that's on this flyer, we got so many people that have just been pushing it as hard as they can, and
there's also an event page.
Yeah, we have an event page. You can go to Flow Fair 2020 at Flow Fair 2020. You can find us on Instagram, Flow Fair 2020. You know, check us out on DFW Rave Fam on Instagram as well. You know, link us. We're linked in everywhere. So any place that you can type DFW Rave Fam or Flow Fair 2020, you'll be able to find us.
Okay. So it seems like on most of the social channels, people can find you by just simply putting in DFW Rave Fam. You guys are obviously doing a good job promoting Flow Fair that's coming up recently. Is there something maybe that you're hyped for personally, besides just putting on an event? Is there something that you're hyped up for? Maybe it could just be like an emotional experience where you're just excited to have your first festival.
Man, this is a bucket list thing for me. You know,
you've always wanted to do this.
Yeah, like it says so much. Like, you know, there's a difference in like throwing house parties and like throwing, you know, parties at venues and stuff. You know, that takes a toll and takes a lot of planning in itself. It's so much more that goes into this. I'll throw parties, and some nights, you know, say we'll have a curated event, or like a night that we know for sure, say Lights on Night. So I'm going to throw a party for Lights on Night. I know those nights are going to have a big turnout, so we'll sit down and we'll curate, and we'll reach out to DJs. We'll get lineups set up, which, you know, we'll usually have 6-7 DJs in a night, you know, 5 to 7 DJs. It gets to the point where, you know, you can just be like, I'm going to throw a party, and then you can just have, next thing you know, all your friends are DJs, and they just show up, and you have just killer freaking music all night long, and it's like, holy shit, you know, this is becoming so consistent that it's just like my life now. And it's like, wow, we got all these resources around us, you know, like why not just try to collect it all and showcase all of our talents? You can't do that in one night. It's impossible.
No,
you know?
There's no way you can do that in one night. And it takes time. It takes relationships. It takes conversations. It probably takes nights where you're up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning collaborating with the team. And it can be stressful, but at the end of the day, it sounds like it's something that you guys are all passionate about. And that's what makes it easier.
Oh yeah, the people that are pushing and that are dedicated to this, real recognize real. You don't even gotta look. You can see the people that actually care, and the people that do, go out of their way. This has been a blood, sweat, and tears thing, but like I said, real recognize real, and the people that have stuck around and helped put this on and have believed in this from the beginning, and the ones that believed in it in the end will be around next year believing in it again. I have faith in that for sure.
Okay. So Heather, I'm going to go ahead and address you a little bit here. Kind of when all this kind of got brought up to you, and the event's happening in the next couple of months, which nowadays months just fly by. It's just going to be in our rearview mirror just in a couple of days. Kind of tell me a little bit about your portion of what you're doing with DFW Rave Fam and also with Flow Fair, and kind of where you see Rave Fam going after Flow Fair.
Well, my job with Flow Fair basically help promote it, and then also paying people.
People got to get paid, right?
People have to be paid. So I basically run all the accounts, make sure people get paid, and then just support anybody in the team that needs support. Because we all bounce ideas off of each other. There's always someone that needs something, even just a vent, because sometimes it gets stressful. But yeah, that's my job. We're just here to have fun and bring everybody together. And at the end of the day, I hope that it always stays like that. And that's where I want to see Rave Fam go.
Bringing the community closer together, passing good vibes, happiness, plur, all that comes with that. Mm-hmm. Kyler, what's your kind of perspective on DFW Rave Fam? Being an admin, you obviously have a lot of involvement with the group. So why don't you kind of share a little bit your side as far as where you see kind of the future endeavors with Flow Fair and also Rave Fam down the line, and also maybe with what you're doing to be a good contributor with Rave Fam?
So to start, I also do DJ. I will be playing at Flow Fair as well. I didn't start off DJing. I actually went under Zane's wing. That's where I learned what I know.
So he was kind of your guide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah, we put a lot of effort into it, put a lot of love. We're just a huge family. We love meeting new people and having new people come in, just showing them our ways. And it just spreads the love. People catch on and they bring their friends in, and it just kind of, trickles down.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Since you are going to be playing and performing over at Flow Fair, what is your DJ name?
K-Doubt.
K-Doubt. How do you spell that?
K-D-O-U-B-T.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been DJing since kind of Zane took you under his wing?
I would say probably now it's been a solid year.
Okay.
Yeah, good year for sure now.
Yeah, and I have a lot of fun doing it. I try to make a point to make all of the after parties, after all of the big events that we attend.
It's hard to do.
It is, yeah. Especially, having a full-time job and, just being an admin alone is kind of a full-time job. Not just the admin part, but even, being an admin in the Flow Fair, that is a whole nother full-time job, just trying to help put everything together and make everything happen,
It's a lot of work
It
all
is.
the way around.
It really is. But it's worth it. It really pays out. I love seeing people smile. The parties are always a good time.
Say if you truly enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's what the saying goes. And it seems like I've been getting a lot of the same feedback when it comes to a lot of the people in our circle. We have our side hustle, but we all do still have jobs. So it is a tough time managing all of that. But I think everyone entirely as a whole, we all do a really good job doing that.
There's a lot of love in this community.
There really is.
So much.
I never would have imagined, because I know when I first got into the scene, I was kind of more into a smaller rave group, and then kind of when I ventured out and got to meet that bigger circle, which was, you guys and plus the Electric Shadows. And on top of that, with the additional groups that I've got to be associated with here in Dallas, there's just so much love and passion and hustle in the community. And I think hustle is a big part, kind of looking at organizing events, playing shows, learning your trait, learning your skills. And I want to kind of turn this kind of conversation over to Dee, because I see her sitting over there in the corner giving me faces. I think she wants to say something, but I don't really quite know. So we're going to go ahead and ask her, being the wife of Zane, kind of give us your feedback on this whole DFW Rave Fam venture.
Oh, I love it. I love seeing everybody come together and share the good vibes, meeting new people, seeing all of our kids come together, growing up together.
Everyone's coming together. We're all growing together. And you know what? It does take everybody involved, because what I love about this community is that everybody's bringing everybody up. It's like everybody's posting something, or they're throwing out content for something. They're trying to make a name, and everybody's back there supporting. Even the king, Snetty, who's picking up the mic, throwing on the phones. He obviously has something to say. What are you going to say, Snetty?
Oh, you're just going to put me on the
I'm just going to put you on the spot. You can say whatever you want, sir.
Well, first of all, I'd like to throw a shout out to DFW Normal and the 420lawyer.com for helping us sponsor the Flow portion of Flow Fair. That's a big help. We actually recently just had somebody step in and they're going to be helping provide power. Like, it really is about the community here. We have some people coming in from all directions, throwing in what they have to offer to really try to help make Flow Fair even better than what we had hoped for originally.
And we really need to get like a designated like credits list, like straight up for like at the end of Flow Fair, because there's so many people that just put their 2 cents in to even make it even feasible at all.
Well, it'd be like the Star Wars scrolling screen if we did that.
That would actually be kind of cool to see. Like, if you like when you have like the after movie, and then you at the very end you just kind of clip out like actual Star Wars like credits, and maybe have like the theme song. You know.
So now that I've pushed my bit of Flow Fair, which by the way we also have visuals that are going to be coming in with Beatrix and Mandy Warhol. They're going to be providing visuals for each of the stages, so that's really exciting to have live visuals and projection mapping at both stages. That's a big thing for me and for the rest of us. But now that we're done promoting Flow Fair from me,
It's impossible. We can't. Stop,
we can't stop talking about it.
Well, hold on. Before we transition, so you're gonna have stages, you're gonna have DJs, you're gonna have visuals, you're gonna have food vendors.
You have flow performers.
So we're gonna have
You're
lots
gonna have
of
flow artists.
So we have roamers and performers. So we're gonna have lots of people from the Flow community, for the Flow community, and by the Flow community, walking around doing performances and just being there at the festival. But we have workshops that we've got scheduled that Vibe Tribe is working really, really hard to get down and to get scheduled and have people things for people to do, because we're there to party too, but we're also there with there's quiet hours. There's going to be time that there's going to be things where we have workshops and things in the morning before music gets going up in the afternoon and stuff like that. You know, just to kind of give it a full, not necessarily like a full schedule, but you know, you don't want to have music running 24 hours straight. There will always be something for you to do.
Now, are you allowed to get into some of these workshops right now? Maybe can you tell us a little bit about what those are going to be involved with?
From what I know, this flow shop's teaching you the basics of spinning poi and, you know, hoops all the way up to advanced courses and fire. And
so that's really cool.
We'll have fire circles out there.
So you'll actually have like almost a whole training session on how to flow, how to play with poi. And that's pretty cool, because I mean, even myself, that was something I've always wanted to figure out. And right now all we do is just kind of watch YouTube videos, or you learn from people that you see at events. But if you're actually going to have teachers there, that's hella cool.
They're going to be doing, we have fire performers that are going to be performing too. I'm sure there's going to be safety classes. Like the floor was really opened up for these people that are running these workshops to teach their craft or to speak about whatever they would like to speak about during the times that are given to them, or train or do classes or whatever was offered to the people during those times. We have time specifically, there's going to be time specifically carved out for those groups and those people to do the things that they're wanting to do. And that's actually really the main focus of what we're doing, is the flow aspect.
We also have people coming out to live paint and some yoga classes, and I think maybe a meditation class as well.
Didn't Janae say something about a sword art?
Yeah, we I think that was a brand new surprise that, you know, even DFW Rave family, everybody was just like, oh, this is pretty freaking cool. And we'll have somebody out there doing. I don't even know what to expect. I know it's going to be real swords. That's like already awesome, you know, like somebody spinning around with real swords.
Well, I'm sure we might have people eating fire too. I mean, a lot of the fire community is going to be a part of it, coming out and performing. We'll have fire circles and things like that, and flow circles in front of stages.
We'll have art showcased within art. You know, like we're gonna pack as much into the space that we've been allotted as we possibly can. You know, we're gonna give everybody that is willing to have a spot to showcase themselves and their crew and their vibes all the way around, man.
Well, it certainly sounds like you guys know what you're doing. I mean, it's not just, you know, a festival with music. You're creating more of an environment where you're going to have not only just the flow artists and not only just the poi, but you're also going to have, you know, other places where people can
We're trying to create an experience.
I think that's what's so great about it, because it's not just about the music, it's about the experience. And I think that's what people are really looking for, especially on a new festival that you guys are putting together. This is the first one, right?
Yeah, it's definitely our first time putting anything like this together.
How many people, I guess, what's your capacity of people that can attend this event?
We have a pretty large cap, but we're going to try to keep it around 500, I think. You know, 500 is pretty good. We can accommodate more. You know, we want it to be personable, too. You know, we're not just trying to have mainstream gig. You know, it'd be cool to see it developing in that. But, you know, no matter what Flow Fair is going to have, you know, it's time to shine. It's an underground experience. You know, this is something that's put on by the people that, you know, we love, and we're putting people in positions to play that we love and that we think are, you know, positive for the scene.
Certainly, I'm sure I could speak for everybody that might be possibly listening to this podcast right now, or maybe someone new that hasn't even heard of Flow Fair yet, and now they're kind of like, oh wow, there's something else going on that might actually spark that interest where they're going to go check you out. Anyone that is listening, you want to go check out Flow Fair, hit up DFW Rave Fam on Facebook, hit them up on Instagram, check them out, see what they're all about, check out Flow Fair, see what they're doing, and you know what? You might even just go have a good time if you decide to show up.
And besides that, I know we sit here and we're just preaching the hell out of Flow Fair, but just check DFW Rave Fam out in general. We have so many good parties and such a positive place just to go and make friends and network with people that care about this community. These people that have been going to these events that we throw are pretty consistent, and the people that come back, are validated. You can't throw parties. You can't even come to parties. You can't do anything in the EDM community, especially in my opinion in DFW, and be negative. If you are, that gets noticed and you pretty much aren't welcome.
I don't think you're getting to the vibes. I mean, it's all about the positive vibes, and there are those negative vibes out there. And, I had this idea one day of maybe making like a negative vibe spray that was like Febreze, but instead of Febreze, it said negative vibe spray.
You got to crush up some crystals.
Sage.
I'm saying crush crystals, bro. Crush crystals and put in a bottle of sage.
Okay. Well, since we have, the whole DFW Rave Fam in the room as far as the people that organize and run the shit, I'd like to kind of maybe go around the room with each of y'all. Maybe you guys can each tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you're about, just so we can kind of get to know each of y'all on a more personal level.
Let's start with Snetty.
I'm Snetty. A lot of you have probably met me at the majority of shows here in Dallas through many different promotion companies, large promotion companies, Disco Donnie, Lizard Lounge, After Dark, Night Culture, Ham Fam. First and foremost, they picked me up a couple of years ago, and I've been working for them and working with them for their vision for what they're trying to bring to Dallas. And
awesome people.
What?
They're awesome people.
The greatest people.
Ham Fam, yeah.
And then I actually met Zane and them a couple of years ago. They were actually at Lake Whitney, and they invited a bunch of people to come out. I didn't know who these people were.
And we didn't know anybody. It was so cool.
They just put out an open invitation for people to go hang out with them and play music on the side of a cliff at Lake Whitney and jump off of it, which I still have a fucked up shoulder from, by the way. But
something to remember us by.
But we went out there and we all hang out and we started getting to know each other, and ever since then I've been a part of a lot of the parties that they put on. They've had me come out and play at quite a few of their parties, and like I said, a lot of people listening to this know that I'm involved with Ham Fam, and I also am heavily involved on the back end of Rave Fam as well. So
you're on the forefront of Rave Fam.
I'm starting to be now.
You think you don't do a lot, but you always do a lot.
That's true. Anyway, yeah, so me personally though, like, you want to get to know me, I'm actually Monday through Friday, I'm a voice over IP technician. I manage a support team of people, and I run the entire support team of people managing clients and their phone systems and things like that. That's what I do on my 9 to 5. But then on the weekends, I rig stages, I set up LED walls, I run sound, I do all kinds of things, and then of course for my hobby, I'm a DJ. I like playing music and mixing music, and lately dubstep has taken my heart. But I started DJing back in 2007, and I've been doing it ever since. So that's kind of what it's about me. And love you, Mandy.
Oh, we all love you, Mandy.
Mandy was just here last week, or actually, over the weekend, and we're gonna be releasing her episode here shortly. So I'm looking forward to that.
So my day job is.
Who are you?
Heather. Oh, hey. I'm a general manager for Raising Cane's. That's my day job. I fell in love with the scene a long time ago. I started promoting. I promote for Disco Donnie. I promote for Ham Fam. I love promoting for both of them. I was there at the very beginning of DFW Rave Fam. Me, Zane, Deanna, and about 10 other people had a small private group from people that we went to Middlelands with, and it's been really freaking amazing watching it grow since then. It is absolutely insane.
It's almost like a plant, like when you just see kind of where it all starts, and then all of a sudden it just builds up into this stalk, and then eventually you get the flowering bud. It's like, oh my God, we're actually something.
We were talking about the other day, like it's insane. It was literally 12 or 13 people in a Facebook group of just friends from Middlelands, and it's turned into this.
Middlelands changed our lives. That's part of where, again, Flow Fair again too, is it's nothing that's even come close to that kind of like Renaissance medieval vibe around, and it's what better person to try to, aspire to be like other than Pascal Rotella,
Well, it's me, Kyler. I'm back. So again, I'm gonna bring up Middlelands. That's how I met Zane and Deanna, through Middlelands. I actually got shot pretty recently after Middlelands. Zane and Deanna reached out to me, and Lights All Night was actually coming up at the end of that year, and they offered to form a circle around me to protect me from the headbangers. I was still healing from all my surgeries. Yeah, they invited me to the private group, and it's just blossomed ever since then.
Where did you get shot?
I got shot by a 12-gauge shotgun about 15 feet away. I was in East Fort Worth, in the neighborhood I grew up in. It's not particularly the best neighborhood.
Was it accidental or was it intentional?
It was intentional, but I wasn't particularly a target. But it was intentional. I think they had targeted the wrong person. But I will say that as crazy as it sounds, getting shot might have been one of the best things that ever happened to me, because I wouldn't have met this family if it wasn't for it.
So it's literally, again, my favorite story and like my best story ever. So coincidentally, the guy he was with when he got shot was named Zane. We were in a Snapchat group, and we were supposed to meet up at a show that night, and it just fell through, So we get back from the show, get back to my house, and Deanna's like, "Hey, you remember Kyler?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I remember Kyler." And she's like, "Well, he got shot." I'm like, "Holy shit, like, what the hell? That's crazy." So I reached out, and I was like, as a Rave community as a whole, like, "Hey, we're pushing for your, pushing good vibes, pushing for your son to get better." And when she saw, like, my name Zane pop up, she's like, "What the hell? Like, this is the guy that was with my son."
Not many people have the name Zane.
Yeah, so she goes into looking into me and finds out that we're not the same Zane. And crazy enough, it's coincident. Like, it's insane that come to find out, like, her and my mom were best friends back in the day, and were best friends before I was born. And his mother actually named me. We come to find all this out. Like, one day his mom reaches out and is like, "Hey, this is a weird question, but is your mom Jennifer?" And I'm like, I remember, like, specifically being like, ... yeah, she is. I have a feeling this is about to get weird. Sure enough, man, it says, like I said, his mother named me. I have pictures. My mom has pictures of his mother and father holding me as a baby before he's even born. What a crazy coincidence, and I can't be more thankful, for Kyler getting shot.
Small world.
I'm not even mad.
Small world, big family. Unless you shoot people, you ain't a part of this family.
No, man,
Not at all.
What you got, D? I know you want to
Hi,
say something.
it's Dee. I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. I've been for 2 years. In the past, I worked in the medical field. I'm trying to pick up DJing a little bit on the side, shuffling, hooping, a little bit of everything on the side of course, all of our Rave fam stuff and our Flow Fair stuff.
You stay busy.
And Kinsley. She keeps me pretty busy. Always chasing her around the house.
Hey, I really appreciate all of you guys coming out. I mean, I know you guys had quite a bit of a drive from coming from the Dallas side or the Fort Worth side, making it all the way to the middle, the Metroplex of the colony. So I really appreciate y'all making the effort and coming to support me over here in the fish tank.
Thanks for supporting us, man. You've been nothing but good vibes, like, from the get-go. Every time I've ever had any experience with you, it's just been solid as fuck. And I remember having good conversations with you just specifically about each other's vibes. Like, man, I look up to your inspiration too on Facebook and stuff, It's like, you just want to get up and be happy. Like, same thing here, with everybody. Everybody wants to collect themselves and surround themselves with the most happy and passionate people they possibly can. And you're definitely one of those people. And, this podcast and stuff is fucking awesome. It's another place, another awesome platform to showcase everybody's talent and passion, in the DFW rave scene. And you're connected with a lot of good people because you are good people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it takes. You just got to be a nice person. You got to be genuine. And
it's simple. It's a simple thing. Just got to be fucking nice, dude. Like, DFW Rave Fam is what it is because we just, like, give people a place to come and be loved, like, straight up. Like, I said that the other day, and, like, it was like preaching to myself. People need to realize that they deserve to be loved. If you want to be loved, come through, and we'll give you some.
Well, you guys all heard it. If you don't know DFW Rave Fam, check them out on Facebook, check them out on Instagram. Like we said, we got Flow Fair coming up in March. If you don't have your ticket yet, get your ticket. Let's get this ball rolling. You already heard what they're all about. I don't really need to go too much more into the weeds. Go check it out, and you'll see exactly what DFW Rave Fam is all about.
Hey, yo, we love you.
Peace out.